It's so funny that Tony Robbins was saying the exact same shit that we were 30 years ago, and he was using it to improve people's lives. And back then, it was totally fine. He was not canceled. Nobody on The View was talking about him. Nobody had shit to say. He wants to go up to a woman and say, "You think you're masculine? You're not going to be masculine next to me because I'm a big old strong masculine man." And she's like, "Yes, you're right. I'm yes, daddy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy." And we saw it happen. And even if you think it's bullshit, the fact that he said it, that's what he believes. But you can't say that shit now. No, you can't. Or you'll be demonetized.
I say go yourself.
I say, okay, good. That's good. I'm glad to see the feminine is fully developed in you.
I'm about 99% masculine.
99%? Wait a second. Move over. Move over. I just want to see this. I just want to get a closer look. 99% masculine. Yes. Look at the state right now. Is this your idea of masculine?
No.
No. Oh, this is the 1% that shows up every now and then?
Yes.
I see. It shows up when a masculine energy shows up. Then she goes back feminine. But she surrounds herself with men that are more feminine and calls herself masculine. Because you actually do become masculine around them.
I mean, I've learned in the seminar I need to be more feminine, but it's just a difficult thing to do.
Is it?
I mean, I feel like
I just walked up to you and you changed states somehow. And it wasn't attraction. It's not hard. It's that you keep surrounding yourself with people you think you can control. And the fastest way you control them is you tear them down. Now, you don't always do it verbally and directly because that's a little dangerous. You do that in your own head. And you demonstrated 4 or 5 times in the first 3 sentences that you spoke about your boss and everybody else, did she not? You emasculated all of them as fast as you could. Because there's 2 ways to be significant. One is work your ass off and grow and take risks and go through the injustice of life that we all go through. Or the other is tear everybody else down and have the illusion that they're going down, you're moving up. Have you ever been with a woman?
I'm really attracted to men. The problem is I turn them like tires.
You turn them like tires.
Yeah. So they rotate right in and out.
What kind of men do you tend to rotate truthfully?
So it's been half and half. So I would say definitely go for sometimes a feminine side, but more recently it's been the very masculine type.
And how would you rotate a masculine? I'd just love to hear this. If they were truly masculine.
In the bedroom.
And your idea of rotating in the bedroom would be?
I'm very feminine.
Oh, you become very feminine?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the bedroom you become very feminine. And then how does that rotate them?
I just don't keep them.
You don't keep them?
So I don't let them get close enough.
Perhaps you're confused. And they leave your house and are very happy that you rotate them.
Bro.
Crazy.
Okay, let me ask you a question. My first question to you. If this is probably 25 years more than that, it's probably in the 1990s when he does this, how fast does Tony Robbins get canceled if he's doing that today?
100%.
He's probably arrested at this point. Wow. Tony Robbins, you used to be able to say shit like this without getting canceled. What Tony Robbins said was 100% correct. Many masculine women are masculine because they do not trust the men that are around them to be masculine. And when Tony Robbins, his 6'8" billionaire ass, walked right up to her, she turned super feminine like that. That is a real thing. But to admit turn feminine when they're around masculine men in itself is deemed misogynistic. Now, back then you could say it because there was no red pill space. People were not outraged by what Tony Robbins was saying, and that probably wasn't public. That's probably been released from a private whatever I want to show you guys one more video. Can we see the second one?
That's not why I don't focus on relationships.
Okay, why don't you focus on relationship?
Because I can't. It's out of my control.
She says it's out of her control. Is it out of her control, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? This is her strategy when you do something she doesn't like. She thinks she's going to punish you by pulling back and not sharing her emotion and then giving you an evil look. When did you develop this? At 2, 3, 4, or 5? When did you develop that pattern? Truthfully.
Probably the one when it didn't matter what I said or what I did or whatever. I had to take it whether I liked it or not.
How old was that?
My whole childhood, I guess.
Your whole childhood. Did you know, I know this is probably news to you, but did you know that was true for all of us? That all of us, when we were that little, we had to take it in because we had no choice? That if we weren't heard, that was just tough because we're all vulnerable, that you weren't alone in that process?
Well, you also learn that, well, if you let them think that they're getting what they want and that they're getting through to you, then everything's fine. But if you continue to think what you want to think and you just pretend to be what they want, then you still win in a sense because they're just an idiot.
So now you just learned her whole model of the world. Your model of the world is life is a battle. It's a battle between doing what you believe is right and what other people are trying to make you do. And if you can make them believe that you're agreeing with them, then you can still do what you really want to do. But that look doesn't accomplish that goal, because the truth is that's not all you were doing there. What you're doing there is trying to get your significance back. They explained to me your entire model of the world about what life's about, which is a complete lie and complete story. But it is true for you because you believe it. So you will always find it. So if I say look for brown, and you have to find brown, if it's not here, you'll find something beige and call it brown, so your brown world continues to exist. So I know you believe it, but that's not even what I asked. I asked is, where did that little symbol you just did? Because what you did didn't make it look like you agreed with me. You made it crystal clear for the longest quiet period humanly possible with dagger-like eyes. I don't know what, I'm not that poetic, but I'm sure you have some poetic words you would use for it to let me know that I don't agree with you. You not only let me know, you're letting everyone know that you don't agree with us. So the whole story you just told me is bullshit.
Okay, why is that so significant? Anybody know? That is Rachel Starr. She went on to become one of the biggest stars who has ever walked to the face of this planet.
Everything.
Yes, when she's like, I can't control it, and when she's talking about, I just do what they say, and I still think what I'm thinking, she's talking about her doing pornography. That's a set hardcore studio pornography in the late 90s is what she's talking about. Anyway, the point I was trying to make, going back to this, is it's so funny that Tony Robbins was saying the exact same shit that we were 30 years ago, and he was using it to improve people's lives. And back then it was totally fine. He was not canceled. Nobody on The View was talking about him. Nobody had shit to say. He wants to go up to a woman and say, you think you're masculine? You're not going to be masculine next to me because I'm a big old strong masculine man. And she's like, yes, you're right. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. And we saw it happen. And even if you think it's bullshit, the fact that he said it, that's what he believes. But you can't say that shit now. No, you can't.
We got used to be challenged, and now we got used to be butter up like for everything.
You know what I think is so funny about this? As far as like, spectrums, right? And there's like on one end of the spectrum, there's like conservative and child wife and all that. But then on the other side, it's like more liberal and more freaky and more submissive in the bedroom. And then like if you become very extreme in that sort of subspace, you bring yourself right back to being like a trad wife and being submissive.
And we have to be flexible, as story shows to us. Like,
I feel like it's knowing when there is a masculine and you're in that space to drop into that.
The idea that you can drop into that feminine space because I'm masculine is offensive to a lot of people. Do you think that women are attracted to assertive dominant men? And so if they're attracted to assertive dominant men, which I just saw a billionaire who's 6'8", who is assertive and dominant, who has a raspy ass voice and is one of the most well-known, most recognized human beings who's ever walked this planet, sit there and go up and talk to this woman, and she all of a sudden became very, very feminine. I saw that with my own eyes.
You also have to think of like the body language dynamics, right? So like as women, we typically will shrink ourselves around men that we find threatening. So him being 6'8" and it being his show and like she's the guest.
Do you think she was threatened?
I
think she
the wrong word, threatening. I don't think threatened. I
don't think she's threatened at all.
I'm not saying like she's like fearful of her life. I'm saying it's like intimidating type.
I think respected.
I think that was probably the most memorable moment of her entire life.
But maybe that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But it's also highly intimidating. Like a 6-foot guy to walk up to you and be like, "No, I'm in control." Like you're gonna be like, "Okay."
But he didn't even say he was in control. He just apparated. He just appeared.
But he said he did because he was like, "Oh, now you're pretty feminine now that I'm standing here." Like, so he literally did say like, "I'm in control."
Just posted up on her. That's what.
But I guess it depends on how you say threatening. I'm not saying you're wrong at all.
No, I'm not saying like she's afraid like violence, but like intimidating.
But from my point of view, that's the complete opposite of that. So for me, a man I love a masculine man, and I'm not threatened by them. I'm not inferior of them. I get excited by a man who is a man. I respect them. I love that. I love my door being open. I love a man taking control, not because I think they're above me. I like that role. I like that whole. That's a masculine, feminine role.
It's very cool when you know where is your place.
No.
And when people know where is their place, like it's like the juicy part of the chocolate.
I'm equal in different ways, but I love that.
Hey, let me ask you something.
He's challenging her views of the situation, so that could be viewed as like threatening, intimidating. Like
that Tony Robbins is definitely not this Tony Robbins.
Everyone in this room should know. Masculine is not the power of the universe. Feminine is. I'm not placating you. That's what every man would die for.
But it's not the same Tony Robbins. I'm sorry.
Give his life. That's what a real masculine man is, by the way.
That is where his bread is buttered.
Tell you what to do.
Ooh, that's a strong pivot.
The one that loves you so much they can feel inside you and they know what's right. and they may share it with you for a different place, not for them, for you. And you can feel the difference when someone's trying to tell you what to do for their benefit or when they know what's right.
Hilarious.
There you go. That's the difference. Which was that 25 years ago was the other one.
Guys, that old clip of Tony Robbins, please look it up, share it with as many people as you can so you can hear Tony Robbins spilling red pill right there on camera before. Now he won't do it again now, but he did it back then.
It's always this ideas about we hate some people, but we make money over hating people. There's the same way. Like 20 years ago, you're gonna say this like right and now.
Well, I'll bet you 20 years ago the majority of his audience was male, and I think it's probably progressed to where he's 50-50 or mostly female.
So guys, what the
20 years ago we all probably had different views as ourselves.
Sure, we did.
So
yeah.
like we've all progressed anyway.
Yeah, exactly. 20 years ago, Barack Obama was kicking all the illegal aliens out, and he was against gay marriage. You're exactly right. 20 years ago, we were very different.